lower, we get to know our pain. We connect better. We improve our focus. Let's walk through the basics in our mindful guide on how to meditate. We are blessed to have this opportunity to do this meditation. Drink some water before and after meditation to prevent dryness of the throat. We will get ready now. Sit in a comfortable position, either in a chair, sofa, or the floor. Keep your body relaxed. Keep your head upright and your spine in straight posture. Please remove your spectacles if you are wearing one. Gently close your eyes. Interlace your fingers like this and keep on your lap. Keep your feet crossed like this. Now focus on your normal natural breath, inhaling and exhaling breaths. Breath is our guru. You may get thoughts during meditation. However, ignore them and concentrate on your breath again and again. Gradually, your thoughts will lessen. Please don't open your eyes until an announcement is made. Thank you. Masters, please come back to your normal awareness. Separate your hands and put your fingers gently over your eyes. Open your eyes gently in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, we'll clap our hands for 30 seconds and enjoy completing this wonderful group meditation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudha. We want to show our gratitude to all the masters who have joined this meditation session for world peace and harmony. We want to show our gratitude to Sudha Master from Canada for conducting the meditation and Darshini Udayaraja Master for playing melodious music. And to all the master helpers for their teamwork to help one and another to move forward this wonderful forum successfully. Last not the least, we all want to show our gratitude to Mr. Srikanta Raja Master and Arundhati Srikanta Raja Master for their timeless commitment, kindness, support, encouragement and dedication to make our lives meaningful, for which both will be blessed forever. Finally, we would like to thank PSSM Tamil Europe, which is part of PSSM Global and PSSM India. May the whole world be blessed with peace, harmony and well-being. Thank you. வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளத்துடன். Nandri. Now let us introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Dinesh SHAH. He is a senior director at Deloitte, one of the world's biggest professional network. He lived as a monk in India for 14 years, where he meditated for 6 hours daily, taught philosophy, and mysticism to new monks. He is also a wellness coach, promotes healthy lifestyle. Okay, Master, the platform is yours now. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome to this evening's meditation and wisdom sharing session. First, I would like to start by thanking Raja sir for giving me an opportunity to be part of this group and share some pearls of wisdom. As a sannyasi, when I was in India, I had the benefit of being in the presence of an awakened soul. One of the questions that I asked the awakened soul was, it was a Bhakti Sampradaya, an organization where nearly 500 of us were monks, were sannyasis. So I asked the awakened soul, what is the most difficult thing which one needs to do to get the most benefit in spirituality? He said, look around. There were so many sadhus, and everyone was sort of running around. People are engaged in arti, in performing rituals, in going to various places of pilgrimage, and building temples and spreading the word of God. He said, all these things are very easy. But what is more difficult, or what is most difficult, is to close your eyes and sit in meditation for 1 hour every day. He said, that is the most difficult thing, and that is the only thing that actually gives true benefit in spirituality. So what I would just like to say is, it is really very humbling to see such a group where you guys are meditating 3 times every day. I will share my screen now. Please let me know if you can see the screen, and also you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can. So,
Thank you very much. So today we start with a series on introduction to wellness and longevity. Health is the most valuable thing that we have in life. But we tend to forget that until we lose it. Time waits for no one. With every tick of the clock, we get older. All of us have 2 different ages. The obvious one is the chronological age, or the number of years since we were born. The other is the biological age. Inside our cells, a kind of a molecular clock is ticking too, marking the inevitable process of cellular aging, resulting in the decline of our body's function and appearance. While growing old is totally natural, a greater proportion of our final years being lived in poor health is not natural. In today's world, we are likely to suffer multiple age-related diseases, so more suffering and higher healthcare bills. Age-related functional decline is the #1 threat to humanity. Somebody could be taking 15 pills a day, more than 450 pills a month, more than 5,000 pills every year, and that has a lot of side effects. I'm just putting up my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or a GP. So, if you do make any changes, please do refer to your GP. Scientists are trying to shift the attention of the medical community from optimizing lifespans to optimizing health spans, meaning the part of our lives during which we remain disease-free. Doctors have been taught, and there may be some doctors in this audience, so doctors have been taught to look at diseases as separate diseases: hypertension, heart disease, cancer, with essentially different protocols for treatment. But the medical profession is now becoming more and more aware that chronic unresolved inflammation, insulin resistance, is actually playing a big role in all of these conditions. And when they tackle the root causes, the patients all start to get better. Therefore, it is better to focus on the root cause. Modern medicine is very 19th century, where we have been classifying diseases based on how they look at the end of the process. However, the real underlying cause for most diseases is aging. So scientists have realized that there is one unifying underlying cause for most disease and disability on the planet that we have literally been ignoring for hundreds of years. It is not good enough to stick band-aids on a disease after it has occurred, because it's often too late. We need to get ahead of it and address the root causes of aging itself. So modern health advances, such as vaccines, antibiotics, and sanitation, have meant that many more human beings are living well into old age. Once those lethal illnesses like infections or fevers have now been replaced by chronic degenerative diseases. And these just don't manifest as disease until you get into your 40s, 50s, and later. But that later stage of life, usually an 80-year-old has 4 to 5 different diseases. What is really happening is that all the tissues and organs are getting old, which means that they are not functioning optimally anymore. We become susceptible to breaks. Cells lose their way and they go crazy, and we end up with cancer and other diseases. The last 5 to 10 years of life are typically something that we would not even wish on our enemies, let alone our loved ones. We don't generally get heart disease in a 20 or 30-year-old, because the reason is the tissues are young and they can rejuvenate and heal. But if you look at somebody who is 50, 60, 70, and if you could actually reverse their age, the majority of diseases would actually go away. So aging is the root cause of these diseases. We've given them names, but in reality, they're just manifestations of aging. So if we look at the number of chronic disorders by age group, so as people grow older, the number of disorders actually increase. And it is quite likely that someone in their 40s has already got 88 or more disorders, but a lot of the people over 60 will have 6 to 8 disorders. And then if we compare this with the number of medicines that people take every day, so people from the age of 40 have to start taking medication daily, and they could be taking anywhere up to 10 medicines every day, but a lot of people over the age of 60 are taking anywhere between 5 to 10 medicines every day. by looking at this chart, we understand that we have reached the point globally where we are now sicker than in any other time in our history. We are dealing with a tsunami of lifestyle-related chronic health conditions, from diabetes to dementia to coronary heart disease, and even some cancers. And what does the doctor do? The answer is so often found in the prescription pad. We are spending more money on healthcare than ever before. Something clearly is not working. So this is the health model that is generally there all over the world. Prescribing a pill for every ill. In England alone, 1 billion prescriptions are dispensed every year. This is costing NHS £8.5 billion. And there are pills for all sorts of things. There is also a pill for shopping addiction. What is really happening is, behind the scenes, Big Pharma is funneling an illness-based model of healthcare because they get profits. However, we are dealing with a calamitous and catastrophic consequence of the pill for every ill. Just in NHS, over 237 million medication errors occur every year. A lot of avoidable ADRs, adverse drug reactions, could be contributing to anywhere up to 22,000 deaths a year. Now let's step back. Is this the only way we are medicating ourselves? No. Our bodies are constantly producing chemical reactions to everything that we think, we feel, and we do. And just like other forms of medication, our thoughts, our actions have the ability not only to heal and enhance our life, but they also have the ability to make us extremely ill. So when we spend time around a growing child, we will see how powerful these chemicals are. We call them hormones. But the same chemical hormones that are cascading from our bodies throughout our entire lives, the word hormone literally means to set in motion. And this is exactly what chemicals do. They set into motion various systems within the body. It's easy to see how our choices in life matter, but quite often it is very hard to see how our choices equate to result in good or bad health. Now let's look at the other type of health model, prescribing lifestyle as medicine. And we are the architects of our health. So if we reflect in just 60 seconds, our bodies will perform millions of complex functions automatically and flawlessly. We will take about 15 breaths. Our heart will beat around 70 times. Our tear ducts will moisten our eyes 25 times. 6 million chemical reactions will occur in our brain. Our bone marrow will produce 180 million blood cells and destroy the same amount. We will shed 10,000 particles of skin and 300 million cells will die. Over our lifetime, our body will work countless mini miracles to keep us breathing, moving, thinking, and living. That is really important. The human body is one of the most extraordinary healing and regenerative systems that nature has ever produced. So the important question is, why is it difficult for us to take responsibility for our own health? We are more focused in taking care of our physical possessions, like our smartphones and our cars, than we are of ourselves, our physical and mental well-being. It is said that 80% of the chronic disease is lifestyle related. That this simply means that it could be prevented with simple and cheap lifestyle strategies. These strategies really aren't complicated. In fact, it's the small, actionable steps that often produce the best results. Let us talk about blue zones now. For more than a decade, author Dan Buettner worked to identify hotspots of longevity around the world. With the help of National Geographic Society, Buettner set out to locate places which not only had high concentrations of individuals over 100 years old, but also clusters of people who had grown old without health problems like heart disease, obesity, cancer, and diabetes. So the hotspots that he found were Loma Linda in California. In the US, there is a hotspot where most of the population lived 10 years more than the rest of America. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, there is a very high number of centenarians in excellent health. In Sardinia, in Italy, there are more than 10 times more centenarians than the rest of the world. In Ikaria, Greece, 1 in 3 will make it to their 90s. In Okinawa, Japan, there are 5 times more centenarians than the rest of the world. So what life do they lead? So let's look at a few examples. In Loma Linda, California, we've got Dr. Ellsworth. He was 104 years old, no cancer, no dementia, no heart disease. He used to perform 20 open heart surgeries every month at the age of 100. And he was one of the earliest practitioners of open heart surgery. He died at the age of 104. Let's look at Marge Ditton, 104 years old. She starts her day with lifting weights. She rides her bicycle and at 104 volunteers for 7 different organizations. Let's look at someone from Ikaria, Greece. He is actually called the man who almost forgot to die. He was in US in the 1970s, was diagnosed with lung cancer, and doctor predicted his death. He refused chemotherapy and medication. He returned to Ikaria to lead the Icarian life. He lived 40 years after his doctor had prescribed his death sentence. He died peacefully and not from cancer in 2013 at the age of 98. Then Maria from Costa Rica, 110 years old, full of energy and did not look a day over 75. She lived in a wooden shed in the tropical forest. She shared the house with her oldest son, Pablo, 93, who was going to move out of the house with his new girlfriend. So now let us look at the genetic side of stuff. So every cell has a set number of genes. In every one of our cells, there are the same number of genes, but they aren't all switched on at the same time. They need to be kept on and off, and to tell which cell is in the liver and which cell is in the brain. So David Sinclair, one of the leading scientists in the field of longevity, his research led him to say, why do yeast cells grow old? He then found out that one of the reasons is that the genes start to switch on, all of them start to switch on as they get older. And after about a week, all the genes they come on and then they die. And this research led to a discovery of a longevity gene called SIR2. SIR2 stands for Silent Information Regulator 2. And they discovered that there are 7 of these longevity genes in our bodies, and they call them sirtuins. So these sirtuins protect our body against diseases of aging. So the idea of aging then changed. It says as we get older, genes are switched on and off in the wrong way. So they did more research, and the problem during aging is that chemicals come in and stick to the histones that the DNA is packaged in and turn the genes on. If it is this, we call epigenetic change. And this epigenetic change is reversible. So 80% of our illnesses are due to epigenetic change. So how can we reverse this? These sirtuins actually make proteins. And these proteins, what they do is they clip off the chemical groups. Now the gene that was not supposed to be on but was on, by these sirtuins, it actually goes off again. This is what sirtuins do in our bodies. Now, when are these sirtuins stimulated? They are stimulated naturally when we don't eat, when we exercise. But if we eat a large pizza, we shut them down again. Why does it work? It isn't that your blood flows more or that being hungry is just healthy for the body. It's actually that your longevity genes get turned on by these things. The body senses adversity and wants to fight back. We might die next week without food, or we are running away from lions. This is the survival mode. This survival mode turns our longevity genes on. Currently, in the world that we live, we spend all our lives trying to reduce adversity, being comfortable. We don't want to be hungry or don't want to be puffed. No wonder we are getting sicker and sicker. We are in a world of convenience, right? And it's the worst thing that we could do really for our bodies in terms of longevity. Now let's talk about the other aspect of longevity, telomeres. They are structures at the tips of chromosomes that play a key role in cellular aging. Telomeres sit at the end of the strands of DNA like the protective caps of shoelaces. Stress from a rough lifestyle will shorten these caps, making it more likely that cells will stop dividing and essentially die. These telomeres shorten each time a cell divides. So as we age, some of the body's cells enter into a state called senescence, in which a cell stays alive but stops dividing. They produce molecules that lead to inflammation. This is a huge risk factor for every age-related disease. So the scientists, what they did was they cleared the senescent cells in mice, and they realized that it profoundly delays the signs of aging. So lengthening telomeres would be very good, and with lifestyle, if that can be done. But lengthening telomeres with medication could be dangerous. Lifestyle are far better than taking a pill. So what are the lifestyle changes that we could do? So which is sort of next part of the series. So there are 6 pillars, and we will go through how each lifestyle change affects telomeres, affects the longevity genes, and scientifically it sort of delays the concept of aging. The 6 pillars are: 1, fasting is the best medicine. 2, we need to eat to beat disease. Meditation is the longevity pill. Sleep is the silent healer. Breath is our superpower. And the last one is move more, live more. Thank you, Masters, for listening to this session. I open the session for discussion, questions, and anyone who wishes to share anything.
Thank you very much, Dinesh Master.
Thank you.
It's very informative and inspiring speech. Now, our Kumarsamy Pilla Master will translate in Tamil. Thank you, Kumarsamy Pilla Master.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Firstly, I would like to thank Dinesh SHAH for really an empowering speech. This is the speech we need nowadays. We have been misguided by so many people, but today you have boldly disclosed the truth. For that, I salute you. And you highlighted one of the most important things nowadays we do not realize is that which about the epigenetics, which I would like to start. This is a new topic which most of us are aware of that. So epigenetics is the one that now most of the doctors are recommending, and especially some of you might have read the book Biology of Belief written by Dr. Bruce Lipton. Here very clearly illustrated our modern life is ruining our health and dependency on medication. So if you really depend on meditation and avoid medication, we can live long. That's the message you are giving here. And I would like to thank you because this is a forum encouraging meditation and not medication. Thank you. Now I would translate, I will summarize your speech for the benefit of our people. இன்று தினேஷ் ஷா அவர்கள் உடல்நலம் மற்றும் நீண்ட ஆயுளுக்கான ஒரு அறிமுகம் என்ற தலைப்பில் ஒரு அருமையான அற்புதமான உரையை உங்களுக்கு ஆற்றினார். அதன் தொகுப்பை நான் உங்களுக்கு வழங்குகிறேன். முதலாவதாக நான் சன்னியாசியாக இந்தியாவில் இருந்த பொழுது அங்கே 500க்கும் மேற்பட்ட சன்னியாசிகள் இருந்தார்கள். அவர்கள் வெவ்வேறு சேவைகளில் ஈடுபட்டு கொண்டிருந்தார்கள். அப்பொழுது நான் அறிந்த ஒரு உண்மை என்றால் மிக மிக கடினமான வேலை என்று சொன்னது என்றால் ஒரு மணித்தியாலம் தியானத்தில் இருப்பதை விட கஷ்டமான வேலை இல்லை என்பதை அன்று உணர்ந்தேன். இன்று நீங்கள் எல்லோரும் அது மிக சாமர்த்தியமாக செய்கின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு எனது மனமார்ந்த வாழ்த்து என்று சொல்லி ஆரம்பித்து தனது உரையை ஆற்றத் துவங்கினார். முதலாவதாக நான் என்ன செய்யணும் என்றால் இந்த எங்களுடைய உடல் நலம் யாருடைய கையில் என்பதை மிக தெளிவாக கூறியிருக்கின்றார். இன்றைய வாழ்க்கை முறையை நாங்கள் எடுத்துக்கொண்டால் முதலாவது தெரியும் எங்களுடைய உடல் நலம் உள்ளத்திலேயே சிறந்த செல்வம் உடல் நலம். அதை பாதுகாக்க வேண்டிய பொறுப்பு யாரிடம் இருக்கிறது, எங்களிடமா இல்லை மருத்துவரிடமா என்ற கேள்வியை அவர் சிறப்பாக முன்வைத்தார். இந்திய நிலைமை என்ன மாதிரி முதலாவது வயது மூப்பு அடைதலுக்கு 2 வழி உள்ளது. ஒன்று கால வரிசை, அது சொல்வார்கள் ஆங்கிலத்தில் குரோனாலஜிக்கல், அதாவது பிறந்த நாளிலிருந்து இறக்கும் வரை உள்ள காலத்தை தான் அது சொல்வார்கள். அடுத்தது பயாலஜிக்கல் ஏஜ், இது உயிரியல் சார்ந்தது. உடல் நலம் எப்படி இருக்கின்றது என்பதை பொறுத்து தான் எங்களுடைய வயது இருக்கின்றது. ஆகையினாலே எங்களுடைய வயதை மூப்பு அடைதலை இந்த 2ல் ஒரு காரணி தான் தீர்வு செய்கின்றது. இன்றைய வாழ்க்கையில நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்றால் 5000க்கும் மேற்பட்ட மருந்துகளை எடுத்துக்கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள் பலர்கள். அப்ப நாங்கள் உண்மையாக என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும் என்றால் மருந்து சார்ந்த வாழ்க்கை இல்லாமல் மருந்தை நம்பி இருக்காமல் உண்மையான இந்த நோய்க்கு உண்மையான காரணி என்ன என்று இனங்கண்டு அதை நாங்கள் கவனிக்க வேண்டியதான் முக்கிய பங்கு. இன்று என்ன மாதிரி என்றால் பல நாள்பட்ட நோய்கள் இருக்கின்றன. அந்த நாள்பட்ட நோய்களுக்கு அதுவும் குறிப்பாக ஒரு மனிதனுடைய கடைசி 5 அல்லது 10 ஆண்டுகள் பலவிதமான நோய்களுக்கு உள்காக்கப்பட்டு பலவிதமான மருந்துகள் தினமும் சாதாரணமாக ஒரு 10-15 எத்தனையோ மருந்துகள் எடுத்துக்கொண்டே இருக்கின்றார்கள். இப்போ இப்படியான நாட்பட்ட வருத்தங்களுக்கு கஷ்டம், அதுவும் குறிப்பாக 60 வயதை கடந்தவுடன் எத்தனையோ விதமான நோய்களுக்கு நாங்கள் ஆளாகின்றோம். இப்போ இவற்றை எல்லாத்தையும் நாங்கள் என்னென்றால் இப்போ ஆங்கிலத்தில் சொல்லும் பொழுது சிறப்பாக இருக்கும். ஃபார் பிரிஸ்கிரைபிங் எ பில் ஃபார் எவ்ரி இல், ஒவ்வொரு வருத்தத்துக்கும் ஒவ்வொரு குளிசை கொடுக்க வேண்டியதுதான் இன்றைய காலகட்டத்தில் இருக்கின்றது. அப்போ நாங்கள் என்னத்தை சொல்றோம் என்றால் எல்லாத்துக்கும் நமது வாழ்க்கை மருத்துவர்கள் தான் எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையை தீர்மானிக்கின்றார்கள். அப்படியான வாழ்க்கை தான் முதலாவது படி. இப்ப நான் முதலாவது என்னென்றால் எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையை நாங்கள் மருத்துவரிடம் ஒப்படைக்கின்றோம், அவர்கள் தான் தீர்மானிக்கின்றார்கள். இன்னொரு வழி இருக்கின்றது, அது என்றால் நாங்கள் எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையை எங்களுடைய கையில் எடுத்துக்கொள்வது. இப்ப நாங்களே எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையை வடிவமைப்பவர்கள். எப்பொழுது இப்ப நான் பல உலகம் முழுக்க பார்த்தீர்கள் என்றால் எத்தனையோ விதமான ஆட்கள் 100 வயதை கடந்து வாழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள் உலகளாவியில். குறிப்பாக நான் ஒன்று சொல்லுகின்றேன், லோமா லிண்டா என்ற ஒரு மருத்துவர் 104 வயது வரையும் கலிபோர்னியாவில் இருந்தார். அவருக்கு எந்த விதமான நாட்பட்ட வருத்தவாத கேன்சரோ மற்றது டயபிட்டிஸோ அப்படி ஒன்றும் இல்லாமல் இருந்தார். இப்படி பலர் வாழ்ந்தார்கள். 110 வரையும் வாழ்ந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்களுடைய வாழ்க்கைக்கு காரணம், முக்கிய காரணம் வந்து வாழ்க்கையை அவர் தாங்கள் பொறுப்பில் ஏற்றுக்கொண்டு தாங்களே வழிநடத்தியவனால்தான் அவர்கள் நீண்ட ஆயிருந்தார்கள். அடுத்ததாக அண்மை காலத்தில் இருந்தவன் என்றால் எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையில மரபியல் சார்ந்தது. முன்பெல்லாம் மரபியல் தான் வருத்தத்துக்கு காரணம் சொன்னார்கள். ஆனால் மரபியல் வந்து 20% 80% அந்த மாற்றலாம் என்று இப்போ சொல்கின்றோம். அப்ப நாங்கள் அதுதான் எபிஜெனெட்டிக்ஸ் சொல்லுவார்கள். அப்ப இந்த 80% நாங்கள் மாற்ற வேண்டிய ஆற்றல் எங்களிடம் இருக்கின்றது. அப்ப அவற்றை நாங்கள் செய்தோம் என்றால் இப்பொழுது முப்படைகளை காத்து கொள்ளலாம் என்பதுதான் ஒரு கருத்து. அடுத்ததாக என்ன மாதிரி நாங்கள் இந்த வாழ்க்கை முறையை மாற்ற வேணும் என்றால், உதாரணமாக நல்ல உடற்பயிற்சி, நல்ல உணவு, தியானம் போன்றவற்றால் வாழ்க்கையை மாற்றலாம் என்று நிரூபித்திருக்கிறார்கள். ஆகையினாலே முக்கியமாக உடல் நலத்தை பேணுவதற்கு வந்து பொறுப்பு நாங்கள் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்பதை நான் இங்கு விரும்புகின்றேன். அடுத்ததாக இப்ப டெலிமியஸ் என்ற உபாதி இருக்கின்றது. அதை முக்கியமான பங்கு வகிக்கின்றது. அதிலே முக்கியமாக கண்டுபிடித்த என்றால் எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கையை உடல் நலத்தை பாதிப்பது மன அழுத்தம். இன்றைய வாழ்க்கை இன்றைய உலகிலே எத்தனை விதமான கரைச்சலுக்கு பின்பு எங்களுடைய மற்ற என்னவென்றது எங்களுடைய எண்ணங்களும் உணர்வுகளும் உணர்ச்சிகளும் எங்கள் உடல் நலத்தை வெகுவாக பாதிக்கின்றன. இப்ப அவற்றை நாங்கள் கட்டுப்படுத்த வேண்டிய பொறுப்பு நம்மிடம் இருக்கின்றது. அப்ப நாங்கள் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும் என்றால் எங்களுடைய மன அழுத்தங்களை மாற்றுவதற்கு எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கை முறைகளை மாற்ற வேண்டும். அந்த வாழ்க்கை முறைகளை மாற்றி கொண்டிருந்தால் தான் நாங்கள் முத்திகமாக இருக்கோம். இப்ப இது எப்படி நாங்கள் எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கை முறையை மாற்றலாம் என்பதற்கு ஒரு சில வழிகள். ஒன்று வந்து விரதம் இருக்கின்றது. இப்பொழுது நாங்கள் உடல் நடுக சாப்பிட்டு கொண்டிருக்காமல் ஃபாஸ்டிங் விரதம். இரண்டாவது வந்து எங்களுடைய உணவில் கவனமா இருக்க வேண்டும். வாழ்வதற்காகத்தான் உண்ண வேண்டும். உண்பதற்காக இருக்கக்கூடாது என்பது கொள்கையை நான் இங்கே இருக்கின்றேன். ஆகையினால் உணவை எடுக்கும் பொழுது உங்களுடைய உடலுக்கு தேவையான நல்ல உணவுகளை எடுத்துக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். மூன்றாவது தியானம் மிக முக்கியமானது. தியானம் செய்வதன் மூலம் உங்களுடைய உடல்நலத்தை பாதுகாக்கலாம். அடுத்தது இன்னும் கூட இருக்க வேண்டும் என்ற நன்மையோடு இருக்க வேண்டும். மற்றது வந்து வாழ்க்கையை வாழ்வதற்காகவே என்ற ஒரு கோட்பாட்டு சிறந்த விழுமியங்களை பின்பற்றி கொண்டிருக்க வேண்டும். ஆகையினால நான் என்ன இங்க நாங்கள் கூட விரும்புகின்றேன் என்றால் எங்களுடைய வாழ்க்கைக்கு நாம் பொறுப்பேற்க வேண்டும் என்ற ஒரு கோட்பாட்டை வலியுறுத்தி இந்த உரை ஆற்றி இருக்கின்றார் தினேஷ் ஷா அவர்கள். அவர்களுக்கு எனது மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு இந்த வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி கூறி விட வருகின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you very much, Kumar Saipula Master. Now let us applause for 10 seconds for Dinesh Master for the inspiring and informative speech, as well as to Kumar Saipula Master too. Now for discussion and question and answers. Masters. Oh, now Swasudha Master.
Greetings to all. Dinesh SHAH Master, you have given a wonderful talk today. Our ancestors also said health is wealth. but a few only give importance to health, aging as well as elders. I understood from your talk, our own health is in our own hand, on nobody else. Stress stops dividing cells is a new and important message for me today. Thank you for your guidance. Excellent translation, Kumar Sami Pulla Master, as usual. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudha Master. Next, we have Shanti Parameswaran Master.
Elorukum Vanakkam. Greetings to all. Excellent talk, Dinesh Shah. The message I took was, and of course I have to say Kumarasamy Pillai's excellent translation. And I think he did it well and put it together nicely. The last, what he said was, from thoughts arises feelings, emotions, and we express the emotions through our behavior, through words, and so on. But I like the concept where you use all these three processes do produce hormones within our system. So the good feelings, good thoughts will produce good hormones. They are chemical substances, and the chemical substances have reaction. I thought that was wonderful, the way you put that thing together. Thank you very much. And I think only I wish you talked about the 6 pillars, and I was wanting you to expand on those 6 pillars, but you just put it and left us to know better. And I think that was wonderful. I just wanted to say that I think yesterday or day before, Arundhati Master sent us all a circular, how old age now begins at 80. And having listened to your talk today, and if we take it on, I think old age will begin at 90. And my concern is if we all did that, our planet Earth will be overpopulated. And we have to start going to Mars and the moon. And I think we should be seeing, but I think, anyway, having said that, seriously speaking, it's a very good talk. We love to see you again, but I would like you to expand on those 6 pillars that you put at the last slide. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dinesh Shah. Thank you.
Yeah, well said, Shanti Master. Now, Arundhati Master.
Greetings to all masters. Thank you very much, Dinesh Master, Dinesh Shah, and Kumarasamy Master for wonderful translation. Excellent speech, Dinesh Shah Master. You said that the root cause is our thoughts and what we eat and what is, we do in our day-to-day life. And for that is the meditation is the answer. Once we start meditating, so we can focus well and we will think positive. Everything you have explained it very well. Thank you so much. There's no questions to ask because the way you have explained is well clear and we didn't have any question to ask you. So very well presented. Thank you so much. We would like to invite you again for the different topic that you can share with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Arundhati Master. Now, Dr. Navratna Master. Come on.
Greetings to all. Thank you for calling me to say something. I'm a medical doctor, and the medical doctor takes a beating from various people when they talk about health. Unfortunately, all these statistics do not mean much because you can pull it out of any journal and bring it to us. Funny thing is, the world has changed. Industrial revolution has brought in a lot of changes. And when I must say that I should disclose that I'm over 80 years old. When I was a child in a village, people lived up to 90, 100 in Sri Lanka. Their style of living was different, but there were a lot of young people dying because of TB, mostly tuberculosis or other infections. Now, those have been at least treated and cured with the modern medicine. Lifestyle changes did not cure TB, but a lot of my relatives died young when they had TB. That's before my time. So, in fact, just saying all this is good, because I do agree that we should be in control of our health. We should abide, eat sensibly, exercise sensibly, sleep well, do breathing technique, meditation, walk, and all that is good. I agree. But to say that all these tablets are killing us is wrong, because a hypertensive, if not treated, will die of stroke or heart failure. Whereas preventing hypertension, preventive health is important, and that is the lifestyle changes, and also reducing stress and methods of reducing stress. But the changes that occur in the cells, all that is beyond us. It is not, it's interesting when you show telomeres and the nucleus, all that make it more interesting. It's like, in a way, the people who watch think that person who is presenting is a genius. This is all in the books anyway. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And I fully
Thank
agree. I'm
you.
not saying that I'm not anti pills. We have to take pills because, as you said, there are certain conditions where you cannot reverse immediately. But if we make lifestyle changes, then they help us live healthier.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Navaratna. And thank you, Dinesh Master. Next is Dr. Jagannathan Master. Come on.
Greetings to everyone. Dinesh SHAH Master's speech was informative and inspiring without doubt. My viewpoint may differ in certain aspects. Firstly, the health model 1 and 2, we were taught as primary prevention and secondary prevention, or sometimes called tertiary. Primary is the method that you mentioned all about this lifestyle. Secondary is medicine and tertiary is hospital. So in a way, it's similar. But the most striking for me was the toughest challenging issue is to be silent for an hour. I said this before. Being in a corner and being in silent may look difficult, but it's possible, but it's achievable. But being silent during interaction and communication, I have found it, including this forum, people are I am also failing. I'm not saying I am perfect at it. So that is what we have to learn. And that is what they say, the first step in meditation is to control your tongue. I didn't say it. It's all well, I'm only reciting what other people have said it. And then lastly, the crux of evolution is they call it through natural selection. The word natural selection is the world is changing. As you pointed out, ancient man, caveman's threat were animals. Not modern man's threat is different. So whatever way the threat is, in order to evolve, the genes will undergo changes. So this is all part of nature. I mean, I don't think you can reverse the aging. They're trying. Apparently, lately, I saw in WhatsApp in Sri Lanka, through Ayurvedic School of Medicine, they're producing some tablets now, or whatever, when you call it tablet. some remedies. See, the word remedy is slightly different. I mean, even this morning, somebody had posted in our for the group 15 types of medicine. I've seen it before. I don't know why they are mixing up with medicine. Medicine, I think, has a restricted meaning. You can say 15 steps in lifestyle. So please don't get muddled up with medicine and lifestyle. So the 15 steps that quoting is not medicine. They are all lifestyle remedies, you may call it. So we have to understand, and rather than saying, oh, well, every pill, if you look at it, got side effects. No, doctors are denying it. But I am also a doctor, but I always tell the patient, look, if you can't cope with your symptom, fine. I'm not prescribing anything. If you can't cope it, I have to give you something. There you are. So that's another reason why we have to prescribe. But unfortunately, doctors have limited time to explain in detail. And the word epigenetics, I've forgotten my science basics. The father or whatever of genetics is called Mendel. He actually started working on plants. So medicine has, the DNA or the genetics have gone much far ahead now. So in other words, the concept of telomeres, they are in the infant stage. We can't just say by lifestyle you can lengthen. I mean, people are claiming it. I'm not an expert in genetics to ridicule or, sorry, not ridicule a word, to say anything against it. But we can't just say, these are straightforward measures to lengthen the telomeres and then you can, lengthen your longevity. We can try by different ways, but I don't think we should put all the eggs in one basket. And in other words, the 15 steps or whatever you want to call it, medicine lifestyle is well and good. So there's nothing to say, against it. But anyway, so wonderful, inspirational and informative talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
Oh,
much.
last thing, the 6 pillars, I thought the 5 out of 6 are straightforward, like sleep, breathing, fasting, moving. There's nothing to expand. The only aspect is meditation, I thought. I'm not sure why Shanti Master wanted to expand it, because you don't need to expand on sleep and breathing and so forth. Anyway, I'm not
Thank
sort of.
you. I just wanted to say thank you for all that thing, Jagan Master, Jagannathan. I agree with all what you said.
Thank you.
What I said was everything was said in details. When you came to 6 pillars, it wasn't, would have been better if you said how. You're absolutely right. How does sleep make you feel better? What is the chemical and the mental process that goes behind sleep, which makes you feel happier and makes you less stressed? Because we know stress doesn't help. So you can expand on that. Equally, how does fasting help? There is a mechanism behind fasting. I won't go in. I know most people here know what fasting means and how that helps. Equally, people eating good food. I think he put a slide about vegetables and so on. And I think breathing. You breathe when you are stressed, you breathe quickly. When you are calmer, your breathing comes naturally down. So that has an effect on your long-term longevity. I think rather than just put 6 pillars, if you could say how those affects you is much better. I agree with you. There is the difference between meditation and medication. I think medication, when used sensibly and needed, is absolutely essential. I believe with Dr. Navaratnam, my father died at the age of 52. My mother, 86. So there were differences there. I don't disagree. There are natural things as well. And I won't say no more, but having put that through nicely, I thought the line of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, how we produce chemical hormones and how that affect our system was a nice thing that I took on. I think everybody takes something from everything, and I took it, but I thought it was good to make us change our lifestyle. And I thought that was the message he brought today. So I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah, you got the answers. One thing about sleep is a mantra I ever heard it. I think it's from my mother. It says early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy and blah blah. So that's the one mantra I think I learned it as a child, but I don't follow that, unfortunately.
Exactly. I go
Thank
to
you.
bed
Thank you.
late to bed and late to rise because I'm retired now. I have the luxury of doing that, the master. So join the club. But
Thank
I
you.
think everything is thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Shanti Master and Jagannathan Master. Now I call Rajesh Sitam to tell her.
Good evening to all, and thank you very much for the excellent, informative speech regarding the medication and the meditation and whatnot. I agree with you, but with certain conditions, we have to take the medication. With my condition, which is a lung condition, I have to take antibiotics on and off. Now they have put me on a daily antibiotics and a low strength. So unfortunately, I have to. So 3 weeks ago, I went to see the respiratory physician, and I mentioned to her that I've been on daily antibiotics for the last 2 years. What do you think about the side effects, doctor? So she said, okay, I can see that you're concerned about your health and the medication. Okay, we'll have a 4 months of holiday to the antibiotics and see how you get on. So I'm going to start the holiday from April to July, and I'm seeing her in July and see what happens. But to be honest with you, after start taking the low strength of antibiotics daily, which I have to be very careful, 2 hours before and 2 hours afterwards, I shouldn't be eating certain things. So only at about 8:30, I can take the medication. But I feel better with the medication. So we do need medication. But when I hear all these things, we have doctors in the family as well. And then one of the doctors said, taking antibiotics, even if it is a low strength, it is not good for you. You better speak to your respiratory physician about it. So I spoke to her, and she's going to put me on a holiday for the antibiotic and see what happens. But once and for all, I can say that we have to be sensible. We have to do meditation, which is an excellent thing for all of us. We have to have daily walking, which I'm doing. Daily walking, and my respiratory physician said I don't have to walk miles and miles, but about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that's enough for me. So I'm doing everything. I can feel that I'm getting a little bit better and relaxed after start taking the lower strength of antibiotics daily for the last 2 years. So medication is essential, meditation is essential, walking is essential, sensibly eating, and lead your life. But that's all I can say. Thank you very much for the excellent speech, very informative. And Kumarasamy Pilla Master, thank you very much for the excellent translation. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh Master.
Thank you.
Now, Kumarasamy Pilla Master.
Greetings to all. I would like to express some few views about on the speech of Dinesh SHAH. He classified the age into 2 groups. One is chronological, and another one is biological. There's a third classification known as psychological aging. So I think if we mention that psychological aging, we can avoid some of those discussion. Actually, in our life, the psychology plays a very important role. Even the Dr. Bruce Lipton also emphasized on psychological factors in order to reverse the aging. 80% of the diseases are that nowadays this is known as psychosomatic diseases. The doctors have acknowledged that they are termed it as psychological. That means stress is the cause of all the diseases. Recently, I had an opportunity to listen to the the speech of Dr. Shokalingam. He's a leading prominent cardiologist in Madras. He said he's 80 years old and he has never taken a pill. So when he had acknowledged it openly, being a doctor, a cardiologist, acknowledging in his lifetime, at the age of 80, he had never taken medicine. So what's the cause? The cause is he leading a happy, contented, peaceful life and taking care of it. So this one, because this is a life, his lifestyle, we had to learn from that. So if you really, as you mentioned, if you follow this, observe the 7 pillars and faithfully, we don't need a medicine. So initially you mentioned, then we have handed over life to the doctors. I mean, that's the last thing we should do. First, we must take precautionary measures so that we can meditate peacefully, avoid medication wherever possible. I am not against medication, but we need when it is really necessary. But what really happened, my own experience, when we go to a doctor, I am not condemning or criticizing any doctors. When I go to my general practitioner, if I say something, I am referred to a specialist again. So every time we had to undergo so many medical tests, finally the result is nothing wrong with you. So what is the cause? Stress is the cause of all the diseases. So I am not challenging, but my own experience I am sharing so others can be. So we have to take medication. I don't deny it, but it can be avoided. Thank you very much for bringing this to this forum, and thank you very much for a very really informative and interesting talk. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kumar Samaipula Master, for the wonderful comments. I will let Swasudha Master to read the chat box and then Dr. Navaratna Master, okay? Swasudha Master, the chat box, please.
There are 4 messages in the chat box. Jnana Jogaraja delivered from London. Thank you very much for your informative and guided speech. Dinesh SHAH Master, thank you for Kumarasamy Pilla Master for excellent translation. Excellent talk. Well presented. Our health is in our hands. I am a firm believer in intermittent fasting and eating whole food as possible with vegetables and less carbohydrates. I greatly appreciate your talk. Thank you, Kumarasamy Pilla Master, for the excellent translation. This is Radhesh. Excellent motivational speech. Thank you, Dinesh SHAH Master, and thanks, Kumarasamy Pilla Master, for excellent Tamil translation. Murugesh Thangaraja's message is this. Excellent talk, Dinesh SHAH Master. Much appreciated, very well explained. Please come again. Thanks for the translation, Mr. Kumarasamy Pilla Master. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for Swasudha Master for the chat box, reading the chat box. Now, Dr. Navaratnam,